Welcome to an episode of Inner Work Guides, Alchemical Gnosis, Yoga of the West. I'm your host, John H. Reed III. Let's get to it. Sustainable Transmutations, Not Broken, Part 4. When I was growing up in the 1960s, a woman who wanted to play sports was frowned upon. They were judged as not exactly embodying the feminine ideal. Young African-American males were told by the images on TV and the news that society thought them to be thieves, pimps, or drug dealers, and African-American women were fit only to be domestic help or prostitutes. Of course, the LBGTQ community lived a mole-like existence in their closets. These are just some of the extreme examples of the things people of my generation have had to deal with. And it is not surprising that the nervous system has built a bulwark around the original innocence. So again, approaching issues that have sprung up because of the suppression of that innocence will be seen by the nervous system as an attack on the innocence, and it will marshal its defensive forces to fulfill its prime directive. Yes, we all have parts of ourselves we want to change. We have been taught to loathe certain aspects of ourselves and cherish others. But here is the kicker. All of those aspects are just patterned, programmed responses, or better put, projections that the nervous system has developed to win the greatest approval and acceptance from, or in some cases, to show our disdain for the rules of, our family, tribe, and society. We call these pattern projections our personality, and judging our personality to be the real you is equivalent to judging an actor to really be the person they are portraying. I remember once hearing an interview with Sean Connery. He was talking about how some men would come up to him and challenge him to a fight, wanting to prove that they were tougher than James Bond, the character Sean Connery played. I would bet the first few times this happened to Mr. Connery, he was nonplussed and thought, this guy's cheese has slid off his cracker. Sean Connery's response was always something along the lines of, I'm an actor playing a role, get real. Those performing the programming, or to use a better metaphor, psychic plastic surgery, usually use scalpels with names like taboo, law, justice, civilization, obligation, and of course, piety. Again, conformity for the sake of approval actually contorts our original innocence and beauty into forms that are wholly unrecognizable, sometimes in the most hideous manner. Let us once again delve into the pool of mythology to find a fitting illustration of this principle. Some many years ago in the misty annals of history, King Ceracrops, a half-man, half-snake creature, founded one of the most beautiful cities on earth. It was so beautiful indeed that all the gods of Olympus wanted the city named after them. The two most ardent rivals for the honor were Poseidon and Athena. It was decided that a contest would be held to decide which god would receive the honor. At the appointed day and hour, the king and the citizens of the city gathered and watched the gods materialize before their very eyes. Poseidon was the first to display his power, striking a large rock with his trident, causing an enormous eruption of water to issue from the rock. This signified to the people that they would never have to suffer through drought. I suppose Poseidon forgot that humans do not possess gills, because the water he provided was salty, and thus not much of use for the people of the city. Next was Athena. She planted a seed into the earth, and from the seed grew an olive tree. The king and the people truly appreciated this gift, because from it they would receive food, oil, and wood. In conjunction with naming the city after her, the people built a great temple to Athena, named the Parthenon. The temple had priestesses who were sworn to chastity for Athena. One of the priestesses was truly a rare beauty, Every man whose eye fell upon her wanted her. I would suppose even some of the male priests. But this priestess kept her vows, and in doing so the flames of her suitor's ardor was fanned all the more, through no fault of her own. The men obviously did not know how to control their inner fire. But back to the story. It is said that even the male Olympian gods desired her. There was one god who was not content to admire her beauty from afar, and, acting out of lust, revenge, or a mixture of both, Poseidon came down to earth and tried to seduce our young beauty. But she firmly rebuffed his advances. So enraged he became over the slight that he raped the priestess, and while engaged in the act was caught by none other than Athena herself. To be continued. Thank you for listening to this episode of Inner Work Guides Alchemical Gnosis, Yoga of the West. Don't forget to follow or subscribe. Visit our website at www.innergarden.org for more information about Hermetic training in practical laboratory alchemy or inner work. Write to info@innergarden.org.